Is on Mayhew versus Mayhew. Step forward, please.
28-year-old contractor Sean Mayhew is suing his ex-wife, 21-year-old Amber Mayhew, for back child support for their 3-year-old daughter. Amber is countersuing for utilities.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 645 on the calendar in the matter of Mayhew versus Mayhew. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Mr. Mayhew, you and the defendant were married. You are now divorced, and you have custody of the child of the marriage. How old is that child?
3.5.
Boy, girl?
Girl.
Girl. You are suing the defendant for back child support.
Yes, Your Honor.
What does she owe you?
$13.28.
There is a counterclaim here by Ms. Mayhew for some old utility bill.
Correct.
And for some other nonsense. All right, Mr. Mayhew, how long has your daughter been in your custody?
Since she was born, and then when she left in October of 98, 7.
Do you visit with your daughter?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I read in your answer what seemed to be a suggestion that you do owe him money for child support. Is that right?
Yes, the first 2 months. I paid him little bits, $50, $30.
And then you say you've been consistent with your
I
payments
have been
since?
consistent with all of my payments.
Show me.
I have a list here of the time and dates that I paid, and I have a few, I'll let you have it, money order stubs that I have. That's the only receipts. I don't have receipts. I paid him cash the whole year.
Did she pay you cash the whole year, sir?
No, she didn't. I have a breakdown of what she did pay.
And also, here's another one for, I put her in daycare. She's in daycare this month. That's my...
Well, what does your judgment of divorce provide for with regard to payments?
$158 a month.
And it's your testimony that but for the first couple of months you were regular in your payments?
I was supposed to start paying in February. I did not start paying until the middle of March.
No, that's wrong, Your Honor. She didn't start paying until August.
Miss Mayhew, you see you have a problem. Let me tell you what your problem is. When somebody sues for back child support, he says you haven't paid. You have some receipts that you did make payments, and
Correct.
he says you did make certain payments. So you are going to have to establish to me that you made these payments, because most people, when they make child support payments, they make payments by check.
I trusted him. I was with him since I was 15 years old. When I left him, I did not have a job. I did not have any direction at all whatsoever. As soon as I did start working full-time, I paid him. She's my daughter. I was an at-home mother with her for 2.5 years. I would not be a loser mom and not pay my child support, period. He is lying. I paid him, period. I have my witness, has been there a few times.
Well, I'll hear your witness.
She also has heard him say that he's going to get me back for anything he can because I messed him up. He wants to, screw me over.
What's your name?
Allison Noah.
Miss Noah, can you recall dates, times, and places where you saw exchanges of cash between the plaintiff and the defendant?
I know for sure on August 3rd, their daughter's birthday, I went to their daughter's birthday party, and I saw her pay him $80 in cash that day.
That's not correct, Your Honor. She never gave me any money on her birthday. Her father, I guess, offered to pay me $60 towards the birthday party, and I refused to take it. I paid for the whole birthday party and everything. She never gave me any cash during that time.
Did you
No,
see
she
her
did. Yes, I saw
give
her
him
give
cash?
him money, yes.
At any other time did you see him accept cash from her, and in what amounts?
One other time in October, my daughter and I were with her and her daughter, and we were in her car taking her daughter to his house. And she gave him, I saw her take cash up to him. I assumed it was $80 because that's how much.
You didn't
her
know how
payments
much it
were.
was, but you
No.
saw him actually accept
Yes.
money.
Yes.
Do you recall that?
It wasn't cash, it was one of the vouchers that she has up there, one of the receipts, because she was paying at that time.
No, it was cash,
No,
Your
no,
Honor.
it's not
It was
here.
cash.
This is not I don't have an October date there. She has 4
And the only reason I don't have
amounts.
receipts is leaving him, divorcing him, I was left with tons of creditors. I did not have a bank account. People were trying to garnish my wages, what little money I was making. I did it out of good faith. I mean, I've known him for, years. I gave him the money, you know.
Mr. Mayhew.
Yes.
Listen to me, sir. You just testified that you didn't get this payment that she's referring to in
Right.
October. Is that what you're saying?
Right, I got it in a money order. I got money orders September, October, November, and December, and January. And then my wife served her with the court documents here, and she stopped paying. So I didn't receive anything from this year in February or March.
Ms. Mayhew, you say that you missed a couple of months
In
initially.
98, the beginning
Just
of
a second,
98.
Just a second.
Okay.
And other than that, you say you were current.
Yes.
Oh.
Every paycheck I got, he was my first person I paid.
Okay.
And the only reason.
Listen to me. Shh, listen to me. I'm getting somewhere.
Okay.
Did you pay him in January of 99?
Yes.
Did you pay him in February of 99?
Yes.
Show me.
I don't have proof of it.
Now I'm going to tell you why. If you're not honest with me right from the get-go, then you always catch yourself. Because you said to me, other than the first couple of months, I've paid him regularly. Then problems started at the beginning of this year, the beginning of 99. When were you served with a summons for back child support in the family court? In what month?
I'm really not even sure.
You have a witness?
Yes,
Or can
I
you
do.
tell me? Step up, please. You're Miss Mayhew?
Yes.
When did you serve the defendant with the summons for the family court on the issue of back child support?
In February, early February. I don't have the exact date. We filed on February 1st,
You served her that night.
and I served her that night, so February 1st.
Okay. Now, one of the problems that I have, Miss Mayhew, is you did not pay in February at all, and I'm going to tell you why I know that. Because according to the papers that you give me, you show that you have made payments in December, January 19th, 1999, and January 5th, 1999. Okay? So you made 2 payments in January, but clearly you made no payments for February. And did you make any payments thus far in March?
No.
All right. So that clearly there is at least a couple of months that you didn't pay him in September, according to you. Clearly, you
Of
made no
98.
payments in February, and clearly you made no payments in March.
No.
And you didn't make any payments at the beginning, in September and
No, I did not.
October. Okay. For the first couple of months at least.
The main reason I didn't is he told me he wanted to garnish my wages. That's how it should have been in the beginning. I said, you want money from me? Garnish my wages. Since he's met his new wife, he took, Casey from me. I had her 50% of the time, and after that, it just all went downhill.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. Sean Mayhew is suing his ex-wife, Amber Mayhew, for back child support. Amber is countersuing for utilities.
All right.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay. I filed through the state to petition to garnish her wages because every time she would come over and make a payment, we would get in a fight.
You don't have to necessarily garnish her salary. That can come if she doesn't pay. Clearly she hasn't paid. They're going to garnish her wages now and have the payments made directly through the court. You don't necessarily have to get her employer involved. If she was paying directly, she could just make the payments through the court.
Right.
So that there would be a record. So that you both learned a very interesting lesson. And the lesson is you're supposed to have receipts, but you owe them a lot of money. Because you owe them a lot of money taking what you say as true, at least part of it.
I swear to God, Your Honor.
No. Listen to me. Taking what you say is true that we found out today. You haven't paid him for a couple of months when you started. You didn't pay him in February, and you didn't pay him in March. The grand total of that is $1,040. Okay, that's a lot of money. Now let's get to your counterclaim.
Where did you
There's
think
a-
I'm not paying? Where I missed that.
Where? Don't miss it. Did you give him money in November?
I was not ordered to pay him.
I didn't
any
ask
child
you whether you
support.
were
No, I
ordered.
did not. No,
That's
I
not
did
my
not.
question.
No, I did not, Your Honor.
Did you give him money in December of 97?
No, I
No.
did not.
January of 98?
No, I did not.
February of 98?
No, I did not.
Well, you mean you just told me a moment ago that you didn't have to be ordered by anybody. You know that you have a responsibility. You wouldn't
No,
just be a deadbeat mother. And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of talk about deadbeat fathers when they leave and they don't pay until they're ordered to pay. You said to me that I wasn't under an order to pay. That doesn't mean you don't pay child support. That doesn't mean you don't say...
I completely agree, Your Honor.
So?
I completely
stop-
agree.
So stop complaining. How many months did you get away with not sending support until you
didn't get
ordered?
away with not
Sure you
sending
did.
support.
Did they make a retroactive order in the court? Did they make
No.
a retroactive order? Well, they should have. If you were before me, you
Yeah,
would have gotten a retroactive order from the time you didn't pay. The courts do not differentiate between fathers and mothers with regard to paying child support. Both parents are responsible to pay child
Definitely.
support.
Definitely,
If you walk
I
out,
agree.
if you walk out of a marriage, that's your prerogative, but you can't walk out of your responsibility to support your child. Now let's get to this ridiculous utility bill that you have here that you counterclaim. You say when I split up, he was to take care of the utility bill, and he did not. You want to tell me about that?
Him and his ex-girlfriend Pam were living there. She moved in a week, 2 after I moved out.
Show me.
I'm being sued for the amount here. And
For what amount?
I asked him for the PGE bill. I'm there now.
Well, show me. What dates? I assume there are dates on that.
There might not be, just the amount.
Well, what am I supposed to do with this? You say it was at a time when they were living there and you were not.
Yeah, I had
Show
taken
me.
myself off the lease. That's all I had. It was an old bill. It was from 97 into 98. It was approximately 3 months worth of PGE, and he was supposed to have put it in his name, and he didn't. And it was my responsibility not turning it off in my name.
Did you pay the utility bills?
Yes, I paid for everything. She had her mail forwarded. I never got a bill for it. I tried to get in contact with her, but the first 2
You never
months
shut
she
it off
never.
in your name.
Just a second.
I can't shut the electricity bill off when it's in somebody else's name.
In what month did you put the electric bill in your name?
I think it was January.
Okay. So for the months of October, November, and December,
Right.
it was in her name.
Right.
Okay, and you did not pay those bills because you did not get those bills.
Right.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. Well, then you have to pay the electricity bill that you
Okay.
owe, right?
Right. I can
Good.
understand that to the point.
Perfect.
Except for that she stuck me with I have to pay for a babysitter because she took off right away on the
Live-in
spur of a
babysitter.
moment.
Hey, don't
No.
talk to him. Don't talk to him.
Excuse me, sorry, Your Honor.
So
We don't
I was
offset.
already living check to
Listen,
check.
Listen
so
to me.
And I was living with nothing. Excuse me.
You have to pay for the electric because you use it. You're not going to offset that because of a babysitter. This is your child. Are you happy having your daughter with you?
Oh yes.
Perfect. And your daughter is fine?
Yes.
Perfect. Let me make some clear suggestions to you folks. I'm giving her credit for the utility bill, which is $350. I am not giving you missed work of $150. That's absolutely ridiculous. You probably caused more missed work for him than I guarantee you this
I
utility
supported a
bill.
two-bedroom apartment all by
this-
myself, so taking a
Well,
day
who do you
off
want?
of work was
Who do you-
very intense.
Let me ask Miss Mayhew, who do you think should provide you with a roof over your head? Except you.
Myself, definitely,
Perfect.
I agree.
So you don't get any medals
All
for that.
right,
That's what
all
you're
right.
supposed to do.
You're right. Well, I was with him for 5 years, and that was like,
What?
it was a struggle for me. I'm very proud of myself. I'm very honored to say that I take care of a nice two-bedroom apartment and have my own car and pay my own insurance and pay all of my own bills, and I'm not depending on anybody, and I still
Well,
paid
that's
him
what
the
you
money.
should be. That's what all people
Definitely,
should be,
but I'm
especially women.
proud. What can I say?
Especially women. They should always make
Yeah.
sure that they can take care of themselves.
Judge Judy will continue. And later today, Judge Judy. Sean Mayhew is suing his ex-wife, Amber Mayhew, for back child support. Amber is countersuing for utilities.
I'm going to make the following suggestion. That any monies that you give him by certified check, by money order, keep a receipt, or by personal check, which you will get back from him. That you do not accept any cash from her, ever. I'm giving you certain credit for the utility bill of $350. I'm offsetting that against what I believe is a reasonable adjustment of the plaintiff's claim for back child support, and I'm awarding you, sir, $700. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may
Thank you,
step
Your
out.
Honor.
This case basically shows that not all dads are deadbeat dads, and they could be the mother too.
He said that he was going to do whatever he could to get me back. I screwed him, and he was going to screw me.
And now the next case.
All parties on Neiman versus Brown. Step forward, please.
29-year-old teacher Kimberly Neiman and her husband, 36-year-old driving instructor Frederick Neiman, are suing Kimberly's father, 59-year-old Kenneth Brown, for a credit card he used to start a business with her brother.
I hate it when families sue each other. So, Miss Neiman, This is your dad. Is that right?
Yes.
And according to your complaint, some time ago, your dad asked to borrow some money from you.
That's
Is that
correct.
right? Mm-hmm. And you gave him a credit card.
That's correct.
And the bill is way past now $5,000. And you want him to pay the bill. Okay, Mr. Brown.
I did ask to borrow the credit card. It was a bit small business.
I know that you have a daughter. According to your answer, you also have a son.
Yeah,
Was the credit card for your son's use or for your use?
for his use.
So why didn't he ask his sister to borrow the card?
They feud and fight.
What did you say to them when you borrowed the credit card?
I told her that Ken would be using it. His name is the same as mine.
Well, your problem, Mr. Brown, is I read your answer. And what you said to me in the answer was, this is between brother and sister.
Yeah.
You borrowed the credit card. You allowed your son to use it. You say she knew that he was going to use it for a business. Was this business that the two of you were starting together, you and your son?
Yeah, him and I originally, but then we collapsed it.
You have to pay the bill. And then if you feel as if your son owes you money because you had to take on this responsibility, you might have to do what she's doing now. But the card was given to you.
Correct. I just feel that the two of them knew what they were doing. Both of them, both sides, that they ought to be dealing with each other.
Well, she knew what she was doing. She was loaning her father her credit card. Is that right?
That's correct.
And according to you, she and her brother didn't get along. Is that right?
You're right.
So it's possible that if her brother came to her and said, I'd like to borrow a clean credit card that has a full line of credit, she would have said no. Right?
Possibly.
So you understand, sir, the reason that the credit card was given was because you asked for it. She was relying on you to pay off the bill. She wouldn't have given the credit card to your son. He probably knew that.
Yeah.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. Are you in a family dispute? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
So let me see the balance on the credit card.
This is the newest one. The balance is right.
Have you made any payments at all on these bills?
I have, yeah.
You have?
But they have paid me back. I have other credit cards that they owe me money on.
They advised you almost a year ago that they were removing you as an authorized user of the account. Is that right?
Yeah, we requested that.
You
yeah.
requested that. Are any of these bills after they were
There-
removed as an authorized user of the account?
There hasn't been anything since
There
then.
hasn't been anything after that? Okay. Well, this is well over the $5,000 limit, Mr. Brown. But this is your responsibility. And if you feel as if the business didn't go anywhere that you and your son went to, it failed?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
Well, that's not their fault. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge...
Your Honor, this is case number 397 on the calendar in the matter of Rogers versus Stowers. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats.
Mrs. Rogers, you hired the defendant as a nanny, and she worked for you for a very short period of time before quitting. It is your claim that she owes you some money because you made travel arrangements for your family along with the defendant, and it was, you claim, her agreement that if she did not go on these trips with you, or this trip with you, she would pay you for her ticket. Ms. Stowers says that she quit after a couple of weeks because her job responsibilities increased. She wasn't happy about that, and that she did agree to reimburse you for any of your out-of-pocket expenses, which she did by sending you a check for change of name or whatever that had to be done to change the tickets. So why don't you tell me when she came to work for you?
She came to work for me in October, early October, and
She was hired as a result of an ad that you put in the paper?
yes. Your
And
Honor.
what were her job responsibilities?
At the time when I hired her, I explained that the job was a very busy job, that it wasn't for anybody that just wanted to babysit or sit and watch TV, that it was for a person that had a lot of energy, and it was a lot of laundry. I have 3 very busy kids running around, making messes all the time, and also that we had trips planned.
All right, 3 kids and laundry is what I hear so far.
And house cleaning. House cleaning nanny was the ad that I put in the paper.
You have a copy of the paper?
I'm afraid I don't, Your Honor.
What did the ad say?
It was for a mother's helper, and with light housekeeping, 3 kids.
Yes.
Your Honor, I never said anything about light house cleaning. I made it very clear that it was heavy house cleaning from the very beginning.
What was the ad?
The ad was for mother's helper, house cleaning, child care, homework, kind of a variety of positions.
Oh, not in the ad, madam. Miss Rogers, don't make it up as you're going. I've read lots of ads for mother's helpers, nannies, housekeepers. They don't go into homework. That doesn't happen. Yeah, and you don't have a copy of the ad.
No, I'm afraid I don't, but it did say schoolwork in the ad.
How large a house do you have?
Not a large house, Your Honor. It's
Why don't you tell me how large a house you have?
2-bedroom rambler with hardwood floors.
And you have 3 children. How old are they?
2, 5, and 11.
Do you work outside of the home?
No, I don't.
So it's really helping you.
Yes, it is. But most of the, I must add that most of the responsibility of the house cleaning is left to my mother's helper. And I make that very clear when I interview them, that I like to spend more time at my daughter's school and with her doing homework. And what I needed my helper to do is help keep the house clean and run the kids around to their activities.
And
whatnot.
how much were you paying her for this job?
At that time,
How much were you being paid?
$1,500 a month.
And how many days a week were you working?
5 days a week.
How many hours a day?
It was usually 8 hours a day, sometimes more.
Okay. Now tell me about the lawsuit.
okay, when I hired her, I made it quite clear that we had.
Just tell me what you said. Sorry, don't tell me what
okay,
you made
I
clear.
said that we're taking these trips, and I need to make sure that you're happy with your job before we buy the tickets, because once we buy the tickets, we're locked in. And so I waited 3 weeks before I asked her how she was liking the job and if everything was cool for her. And she said it was, and that she was happy and that she was going to go on the trips with us. So at that time, my husband made the travel arrangements on the computer while we were all standing in the kitchen. My husband printed this out and gave her a copy of each of the trips. So she had a copy of her own, explaining when we would be gone and when we'd be coming back and where we would be going.
Go ahead.
And so everything was fine for a while. Nicole seemed like she was very quiet. And so I kept asking her, is everything okay, Nicole? Are you sure you're happy with your job and everything? She says, yeah, I'm fine. 2 to 3 weeks went by, and it was payday. And my husband paid Nicole, and she left, and everything was fine. And then the next morning, she called in sick. The next day was her day off. The following day, when she should have been there at 1 o'clock, she called me at 1 o'clock. She said that she'd found that the job was just too much work for her and that she wanted to spend more time with her boyfriend, John. At that time, I said, that's terrible because you're just leaving me hanging here. What am I going to do with the kids tonight? She knew I had an important engagement that I had to go to that evening. And I ended up having to call my parents. They're 72 years old, and have them come up to the house so they could watch the 3 children for me. And at that time, I said, Nicole, what about the plane tickets? We can't change the names on those. What are we going to do? And she said, I have the money in the bank, and I'm really sorry about leaving you hanging like this, but I'm going to reimburse you for the money. And she said that she wanted me to bring her a copy of the tickets. 2 days later, she gave me this letter and a copy of the check that she decided. She kind of added up what she felt she owed, which was not accurate.
Just a second.
Okay.
Okay, and she sent you a check for $172, which you didn't cash. Is
No.
that right? Okay. All right, now, what do you claim she owes you for?
I claim that she owes me for the 3rd trip that we could not change the name.
3rd trip is to where?
It's to, Darren, was it to Miami?
Fort Lauderdale.
To Fort Lauderdale.
When is that trip scheduled for?
That is April.
April 3rd or 4th.
April 3rd. I was under the impression I could not change the name on the the first ticket, and this is a document saying that these cannot be changed, and that was why I was under the impression that she would owe me for that full amount on the first ticket that she paid me. $50, was that correct, Darren?
Yes.
But you could change the name.
We found that we could change the name.
Right, okay.
So that's not what we're suing her for.
All right, Nicole?
Yes.
Let me hear your end of the story.
Well, when I first started working for him, it was a nanny job. I was there to take care of the kids and clean up after the kids. It changed, like, after about 2 weeks, it changed from watching the kids and taking care of the kids to being their maid, basically. I was mopping their floors, cleaning their bathrooms, ironing, cleaning up after the dog, everything. The second day I worked there, she asked me if I wanted to go on the trip with them to the Caribbean in January. And I said yes, because it's 3 months away. I was doing okay in the job, like it felt comfortable, but it was only the second day. So I agreed to go with them on that trip, and I agreed to pay for the trip if I backed out, if I quit, which I paid for when I quit. As far as the one in April,
How much was that, the change of name on that trip in January?
Well, they gave me, I have the letter here that they wrote me, and he originally wanted me to pay $359 for the ticket, but I called Alaska Air to see how much the ticket was, and I found out that he bought it with his mileage, and he only paid $5 for it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Leslie Rogers says former nanny Nicole Stowers agreed to accompany her family on a vacation. Leslie says right before the trip, Nicole quit.
How did he pay $5 for it?
Because he used his miles off his card, so he paid $5 for the ticket.
Is that right, sir?
I bought 6 tickets.
Is that correct?
2 of the tickets I paid $364. 4 of the tickets I bought with miles. I'm not suing her for that ticket at all.
I understand that you're not suing her for that ticket. You did write her a note, however, that says, Nicole, you can still use these tickets for a round trip to Miami, round trip to Fort Lauderdale, and the Miami trip cost $359, and the Fort Lauderdale trip cost $365, which indicated that you expected her to pay for these.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I understand why, listen, I understand that you are annoyed, Miss Rogers, that she left you in a lurch without giving you adequate notice. I understand that. I also understand that for $375, you're asking her to not only act as the nanny, but you're asking her to do house cleaning, not light house cleaning, house cleaning. It was a lot of work, and you were not paying her a lot of money. So I can understand why she quit. Easy. And you did not have any prearrangement with her, even according to your own testimony, Miss Rogers. No prearrangement with her that she was going to pay for this Fort Lauderdale trip. According to your own testimony, what you said was when you called her afterwards, she said she feels really badly and she's going to reimburse you for what you were out of pocket on the ticket. That's what you just testified to. That's what you just testified to. You said you were standing around. You said, shall I book these tickets? She said, yes, you can book these tickets. And we were all standing around in the kitchen and we booked the tickets. Then you said after she quit, and you called her and you said, you're leaving me in a lurch. She said, yes, I understand. And what about the tickets? And she said, we'll reimburse you for whatever out of pocket was. There was not a prearrangement when you bought these tickets, especially in April, that you bought in when, October or November? You don't have indentured servants these days, Miss Rogers. Something could happen in 6 months or 8 months' time. So if your husband bought tickets on miles, maybe he should have saved his miles and bought the one for Fort Lauderdale. I think she's a very nice young lady for sending you $172. If I were you, I would cash the check. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She was lying and saying that it was more work than I had told her from the beginning, and that's not true.
If I wouldn't have quit on payday, I would have been the one suing them for my wage.
And now the next case.
All parties on Lambert versus Staines. Step forward, please.
Geological draftsman Sherry Lambert is suing neighbor interior designer Penny Staines for knocking over a marble statue in her home.
Miss Lambert, I gather that you and the defendant are neighbors. Is that right?
Yes.
And it is your claim that she owes you $5,000 because she was at your home during a party and knocked over a statue in your home and broke it.
Correct.
Ms. Staines said she's very sorry. It was an accident.
True, but she also entered the home uninvited.
So let's talk about that. You were having a party?
Mr. Brown and his wife and myself were hosting a small party that day, yes.
How was Mr. Brown?
He's my next door neighbor. I apologize, Your Honor.
And how many people were at the party?
I'd say approximately 15.
How large an apartment or home do you have?
About 2,000 square feet.
Now tell me about Miss Stames. How did she get to the party?
I'm not sure, but she walked in carrying a plate of bread in one hand, a yellow glass in the other,
So
and
you
loud...
saw, just a second, so you saw her when she came in?
That's correct. I was standing off to the side, and she came in the front door and announced, "I'm crashing your party." I took the bread out of her hand, walked into the dining room.
Said, shh, just a second. She must have said something to you first for you to take the bread out of her hand. Now, was this bread that she was eating, or was this bread that she came to bring to the party?
She was bringing it to the party.
Okay.
All right, she stated she was crashing the party.
Right.
I was not happy, didn't quite know how to respond.
I don't care whether you were happy or not. Your emotional state is not relevant to these proceedings. I want to know what you did.
I took the bread from her and took it into the dining room. I did not want food on the bar area.
Was there a buffet there? Is that what was there?
Correct.
What happened next?
I heard a loud crash. I walked back into the living room area. The defendant was sitting on the floor next to this marble statue and pedestal, which she had knocked over. She was very upset. She was crying, sobbing. Needless to say, I was very upset.
Did you see a lawyer, Ms. Lambert?
No.
Did anyone tell you that if she was a guest in your home and this accident happened, because clearly you don't suggest she did this on purpose.
No, it was
an accident,
careless.
that she was not legally responsible. Did anyone ever tell you that?
No.
Did anyone ever tell you that if she were an invited guest, she would not be legally responsible, but if she was uninvited into your home and was really trespassing in your home, then she would be responsible?
That's what I would assume to be correct.
That's the reason why you told me in your complaint, "I'm crashing your party," to make it clear that she was really trespassing in your home.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Correct, Your Honor.
Trying to get around the fact that an invited guest would not be responsible if there was an accident in your home.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Sherry Lambert says neighbor Penny Stames crashed a party at her home. Sherry claims during the party, Penny knocked over a marble statue.
Now, had you been previously invited to this party?
I had not officially been invited, no, Your Honor.
That's what I gather. And when you came in, you said, "I'm crashing the party"?
Actually, I said, "May I crash your party," thinking I was being charming.
Sounds right. And you brought some food?
I brought some homemade pizza bread, yes.
And Miss Lambert accepted that and added it to the rest of the party favors.
She directed me toward the dining room. I put it in on the table. And then turning and coming back, I met her again in the living room itself. We stopped and chatted for a bit.
What did you say to her, and what did she say to you when you stopped and chatted?
She hadn't seen me in some time, and last year I underwent some medical treatments and had lost my hair. And she commented on the fact that my hair had grown in and asked how I was feeling and how I was doing. That was a very brief moment, and then I turned to go toward the guest restroom to wash my hands. They'd gotten a bit soiled in bringing this food in. And there were quite a number of people in this narrow area. The statue was approximately 12 to 15 inches tall on about a 24-inch base, not tacked down or waxed down, sitting on carpet and padding. And when I excused myself and went around behind Mrs. rather than cut through two conversations, I didn't see the thing. The crowd moved and it was knocked over with my purse on my hip.
You felt terrible?
Of course I felt terrible.
Of course. You have homeowner's insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this statue covered under your homeowner's policy?
No, it was not. We have a large number of fine art objects in our home, and my husband and I consider ourselves self-insured. We invite people into our home who we trust.
Well, there's no reason not to trust Miss Stames. She did not purposely knock over your statue. It was an accident.
Yes, it was.
You didn't expect her to pay $5,000 for your statue, do you?
Yes, I do.
She's not going to. I'm going to tell you why. Because while she may not have been an invited guest at the beginning, you invited her in by permitting her to remain, because she asked the question. The question was, may I crash your party?
I don't recall
Or,
the may.
even if she said, I'm crashing your party, all you had to do was say to her, I'm sorry, you cannot.
You're
Instead, according to you, you took her offering and never said to her, I'm sorry, you have to leave. And therefore, she became an invited guest. If she had negligently or purposefully damaged something in your home, she would have been responsible.
This was done negligently and
No, it
carelessly.
was not. When you have 15 or more people in a living room, the possibility exists that something that's laid out on a table is going to get brushed off by someone inadvertently.
If I may, Your Honor, for your consideration,
Sure.
I have prepared a scale drawing of our living room area.
I'm not interested in your
A photo.
scale drawing. Just pay attention, madam. If you have something valuable in your home that is uninsured, you take it and you put it in a safe place when you have a party.
It wasn't a safe place.
No, it was not in a safe place, because if it was in a safe place, unless she took her body and lunged into it...
Which she very possibly could have.
But you have no proof that she did that, Miss
I do have an
Lambert.
eyewitness, Mr. Brown. Saw her
Mr.
knock it
Brown,
over.
come up here, sir.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Brown, now let's be very careful with each other, sir. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, I do.
Did you see this woman go over and knock over with her hand this statue?
I saw her standing there, and when she turned, her hip hit the statue.
Right. Thank you very much. You may be seated. That is what we call an accident, Miss Lambert. She turned around, according to your eyewitness, and when she turned around, her hip knocked into the statue and it fell over. That is an accident. She is not responsible for replacing your statue. Put your hand down, Mr. Brown. Thank you very much. Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. Case number 428 on the calendar in the matter of Beaster versus Barber. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats.
Mr. Beaster, it is your claim that the defendant assaulted you by kicking you repeatedly around the head and body. The defendant says she was merely trying, she acknowledges that she did kick you, but she says she was trying to protect her boyfriend from you. So you tell me about this incident. When did it happen?
Happened on August 22nd on a Thursday night.
Where were you?
I was in my apartment with my wife and our 18-month-old little girl.
Okay.
What happened was we were trying to sleep, and we heard a lot of noise. We didn't know where, it was outside somewhere. So I had my wife, I said, just go up, get up out of bed and see what's going on.
That's your first problem. Why did you send your wife out to find out what the problem was?
Because my daughter, she likes to be with me, when we go to bed, and she only wants her dad, and she was holding on to me.
Your 18-month-old daughter was sleeping in the bed with the two of you? Before we get to the rest of this case, let me give you some advice. That's a big mistake. Big time. You go to sleep, baby goes to sleep, baby's crib, baby's bed, baby's whatever. Baby doesn't, 18-month-old baby doesn't sleep with you. It's very cute, it's very sweet. When they're 9 and 10, it's not so cute anymore. Do you understand?
You got that right.
Right? Right?
You got that right.
Right. And then they, in the middle of the night, you find you got an 8-year-old, you got a 7-year-old, you got a 5-year-old, they're all trying to clamor in your bed. So what used to be cute when you had one isn't so cute anymore when you got 3 of them, and you end up sleeping on the floor because, or your wife would end up sleeping on the floor under your scenario. Just a word of friendly advice. Okay, so next time this ever happens, you're not going to send your wife to the window so that you don't disturb your 18-month-old daughter. You're going to get up and go to the window, right?
That's correct.
I love it. Okay, so you send your wife out and she looks at the window. Step up, please. Okay, next time you give him a good boot in the back with your foot and you say, you get up and go see what's making all the noise. Anyway, you got up and you looked outside. What did you see?
Well, I saw a bunch of 19, 20-year-olds, I'm not sure how old they were, playing around outside on the swing set. It was a playground. They were sliding
How
on the
far away is
slide.
the swing set from the playground from where you live?
About 10 feet away.
What floor are you on?
We're on the 2nd floor.
So there are a group of people fooling around outside?
Yes.
Talking loudly?
Screaming.
Screaming? What were they screaming?
I have no idea what they're screaming about.
Okay. And then what happened?
We all went to the window. This is in one of our other bedrooms, and they were just making a lot of noise, screaming. They're in a tree. You know, I don't know what they're doing
They were
in a
in a
tree.
tree?
They were in a tree, all of them. And I proceeded to say, "Be quiet, or I'm calling the police," because it was very
Or
loud.
would you say, be quiet, say, shut up, or I'm calling the police?
I did say, "Be quiet, I'm calling the police," but that's what I did say. I did not swear. I did not say anything.
Okay.
Then I heard the gentleman over here yell back, "Go ahead and call the police, F you."
You mean this gentleman that looks like butter would melt in his mouth? Over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one? Okay, go ahead.
And then I told my wife, "Go ahead and call the police," and I did proceed to go outside.
Well, that was your second mistake, right?
Yeah, I agree. I should not have done that. And
Right. That was your second mistake. What happened when you went outside?
the gentleman there, jumped out of the tree and he ran up to me and he pretty much said, "What are you doing out here? Oh, just because you're bigger? Go ahead and hit me. I will sue you." And then she got involved, the defendant, and she started swearing and cussing at me.
Do you have a police report?
I sure do.
I'd like to see the police report, please. Okay, swearing, cussing. What happened next?
And then the defendant here proceeded to put her hand on my chest, swore at me, and said, "You know, F you, get back in your apartment." And I swiped her hand. She put it right here. I swiped her hand away, and I said, "Don't you ever touch me again." He got upset, and
Because you had swiped her hand away, whatever.
Yes. But she had her hand. She put her hand on me. And
I understand that.
Okay. She then proceeded to scream. She got right in my face, about this far apart, and she was yelling and screaming at me again.
How many
swearing.
people were out there at that time? You?
Well, what happened is four
two
people.
of them.
The two of them. The other two took off. Nobody else was out there. When I first came out there, the other two took off. So, and then what happened is then she put her hand in front of my face, and I did swipe her hand away, and that's when he came to me. And he pushed me. And then from there, Your Honor, I defended myself.
So what'd you do?
We started to like grapple. And then he pretty much said, "Oh, you're a big guy and you can't put me down." So I knew the
Wait,
police...
you got him down. You got him down on the ground.
Yes, then I put him on the ground. He ripped my shirt, then I ripped his shirt. And when I had him on the ground, I did not have him in a chokehold. I didn't throw any punches. No punches were thrown. She proceeded to go ahead and start kicking me in the head.
Okay. Tell me what injuries you suffered when she kicked you in the head.
At the immediate time, I did not know what injuries I suffered, but I know after the second kick that I had blood coming out of my nose, and it was splattering even after the last couple of times. And I do have pictures here.
Can I see it, please?
Yes. And this is the viewpoint from our apartment. I wiped off some of the blood too, Your Honor, so it's not all there.
You have any other reports from the police statements? Do you?
Well, I don't.
I'd like to see them, please.
Well, I do got our own statements from everybody that had statements involved. My wife
I have
and them.
that.
I'd like to see
I
all
also
the
have
statements.
the police report that the police wrote out.
I'd like to see it. Okay. All right, Miss Barber, you tell me your version of the events. You're outside and hanging around in a tree.
Right. We did go outside.
I have this.
Oh.
I have this. I don't need this. I'm talking about other statements.
Oh, okay. That is all I have. We were outside and we were laughing and having a good time.
It's too late.
Right. And
it's too late.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Brian Beester says he was injured when neighbor Courtney Barber kicked him in the head. Courtney says she was defending her boyfriend.
Go ahead.
we went up in the tree and we heard Mr. Beester yell out of his house, "Shut the f*** up." He didn't politely say anything about us being quiet. And we all looked at each other and we realized, okay, we're too loud, we need to go inside. And at that point, Mike had yelled back to him whatever he had said about call the cops. If he said F whatever, I don't remember that. And then as we were coming out of the tree, which was immediately after that, he had came out and was standing underneath the tree at that point. So running up to him.
He has to get dressed, put on his shoes because he was in bed. I don't know what the weather's like, whether he sleeps in the buff or he sleeps in pajamas. Either walk downstairs, take the elevator downstairs and come out.
There were 4 of us in the tree.
You shouldn't have been in a tree.
Absolutely.
Right?
I understand that, yes.
And what were you doing kicking him in the head?
Well, what had happened was that he was at the base of the tree when all of us had been down. Mike did not run at him or anything. And at that point, he told us, I'm in the military, you guys are being too loud, and there's no reason for you to be outside. And there was cursing back and forth. There was yelling back and forth.
Well, just a second. But that's what he said to you. I'm in the military?
Yes.
There's no reason for you, so why didn't somebody say to him, I'm sorry, we shouldn't have been making so much noise, we're leaving?
I did absolutely say, I am sorry, we're going inside.
You said that?
Absolutely, yes. Yes, I did.
Then you tell me how the pushing and shoving match started between the two of them.
Because he had called Mike a loser. He was in the military, he was better than us, basically, was absolutely yelling at us, and we were shocked. We didn't want any fight to happen. We were not about to
I don't
yell with this man
understand how he started, how he was getting kicked in the head. You want to get to that point?
Yes.
So far, I'm just hearing words.
Okay. When he said that I had put my hand on his chest and that he smacked it down, that was true. I had put my hand on it, in his face, not on his chest.
For what?
Because he was towering over me and he was screaming over me.
Why didn't you just leave? Why didn't you just leave?
We were walking away.
How could you just walk away?
He called me, and that's when Mike got angry at the fact that he called me.
So what happened?
So Mike said, "There's no reason to call anybody."
Is that what he
Don't
said?
call
Just
my
like
girlfriend.
that. Just like that.
Yes.
Just like that.
Yes.
Nice and calm.
Don't call my girlfriend. He said.
Keep going.
And then they started wrestling after cursing. They grabbed onto each other and they were throwing each other around. And nothing was even being yelled at that point by Mike saying hit me or any of that. Nothing
So they're
was said
tussling
like that.
around. I still don't understand how
Right.
he got all these injuries.
He got Mike on the ground and was on top of him, and he says in his police report that he had him in a wrestling move.
Okay, so he got him on the
in
ground.
some kind of headlock. I could only see the bottom half of Mike, and the rest of him was underneath Brian.
Yeah.
And at that point, I got scared. He was on top of him, and I didn't know if Mike couldn't breathe or what was going
Why
on.
don't you ask him, Mike, can you breathe?
I was screaming at him, get off of him, get off of him, leave him alone,
Why don't you
stop.
ask him, Mike, can you breathe? Instead of get off him, get off him. How about Mike, can you breathe? I still don't understand how he got all these injuries.
I was barefoot when I kicked him.
What were you doing barefoot?
Because it was summer. It was nice out. I just walked out of my apartment to have a cigarette.
So you climbed up the tree barefooted?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I did.
How did he get all these marks on him?
I kicked him once in the face, and he screamed out. And the second time I kicked him, he let Mike go.
Where had you been prior? Stand up, you. Where had you been prior to going out and tree hopping that evening?
Inside my apartment.
What about the three other people who were with you? Were they in your apartment earlier that evening?
Yes.
What were they doing in your apartment earlier that evening?
Hanging out with us.
Do you two live together?
Yes, all three of us do.
This young lady too?
Yes.
Okay, what do you do for a living?
I'm a desk clerk at a hotel.
And you?
Rough carpenter.
And you?
Customer service rep.
Did everybody just want to go out for a cigarette or just you?
Everybody did.
Did you have the cigarette when you went outside?
Yes.
When did you get up into the tree?
After we were finished, we ended up going and playing around, running around.
Were you smoking regular cigarette or you smoking some funny cigarette?
No, we were smoking regular cigarettes.
Really? But it was after you smoked the cigarette that you ended up in the tree, is that right?
Yes.
You have medical bills?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
I'd like to see them, please.
I also got a letter from my dentist stating, you know, what had happened.
Any other bills that you have?
No, that's the only one I have, Your Honor.
Mr. Beaster, I'm going to make the following observation to you, sir. You're a grown man with a wife and a child, and you should have known better than to go outside once your wife called the police.
Yes.
You were hot because they disturbed your family, and the reaction when you said whatever you said to them irritated you. Otherwise, you would not have gone outside. That was a mistake. You should have acted in a more mature fashion. That doesn't in any way suggest that you are without fault. I'm not sure whether I believe. I was a smoker for a long time, and if I went outside to have a cigarette, I didn't end up in a tree.
Right.
Which suggests to me that you must have been feeling pretty good after that cigarette, because you're three people with responsible jobs. Three people with responsible jobs usually don't have the reaction of hopping up into a tree after they have a smoke. I didn't see any indication here in the police report that the police officer smelled alcohol on your breath, so I might assume it was something else. In any event, you had absolutely no basis to cause the injuries to him that you did. Your actions precipitated the evening's events. If it wasn't for you, the whole thing wouldn't have started, all of you. So you're going to pay for his dental work. His dental work so far was $972. Those are the only bills I have. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You may step out.
He was there waiting for us to fight as soon as he got out of the tree, and that was self-defense.
No, that's a lie. That is a straight-out lie. He's the one that came out of the tree, ran up to me and said, go ahead, hit me. I'll sue you. You're bigger than me. I don't...
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Sullivan versus Bradshaw. Step forward, please.
25-year-old cook Andrea Sullivan and her husband Micah are suing former friend 25-year-old cook Damon Bradshaw for injuring Andrea's back when he body slammed her onto a couch. Damon says he was imitating Andy Kaufman.
Mrs. Sullivan, the defendant was a former friend of yours and a roommate.
That's right.
Both you and your husband's. Is your husband?
Yes.
According to your complaint, one evening, two of you were sitting around watching television, and Mr. Bradshaw, sort of mimicking something that you were watching on television, some wrestling that you were watching on television, he picked you up and he threw you on the sofa, because he was watching some wrestling. Is that right, Mr. Bradshaw?
Pretty much. It was Andy Kaufman.
What does he do? Does he sing?
He was a comedian who wrestled women.
What?
Taxi, Locker, on Taxi, the show Taxi.
He be that.
Does he also, and he wrestles?
Well, he started wrestling women for a while because he thought it'd be funny.
See, that's what you were watching on television. And
So, huh?
what day of the week was this?
I don't know. On a weekday or something, I don't remember.
Well, what kind of work do you do? Were you doing that?
I wasn't working at the time. So.
Were you studying something?
No, I was just a bum. Pretty much.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Andrea Sullivan and her husband Micah are suing former friend Damon Bradshaw for injuring Andrea's back when he body slammed her onto a couch. Damon says he was imitating Andy Kaufman.
Anyway, you picked up Mrs. Sullivan and you threw her on the couch?
I didn't throw her.
Tell me what you did.
Well, we were getting wasted, and we were up all night long watching TV, and he had to go to work, and so we were watching Man on the Moon about Andy Kaufman, and I thought it looked pretty funny. I said I could kick any girl's butt, and...
Don't do that to the table.
Sorry.
It's irritating.
And so I grabbed her, and we were wrestling around, and I took her, and I put her on the couch, and she landed on, I guess, a bar or something in the couch, and I hurt her back. Then we called him. He came over.
Oh. What kind of work do you do now?
Now I'm a cook.
You're a cook?
Yeah.
Did you go to school for that?
No, I didn't.
Would you give me the name of the restaurant, Bert, and I want to make sure to take it off our list. Could we have the name of the restaurant, please? Put that down, Bert.
It's really good.
It's off the list.
It's off the list.
Off the list.
All right, he threw you down on the couch. You hurt your back. Is that right?
That's right. We weren't wrestling, though.
Mr. Bradshaw said that you were both drinking. Is that true?
Yes.
What do you do?
I am a cook also.
Did you go to school to be a cook?
No.
What's the name of the restaurant? And what do you do?
I'm a student.
Did you see a doctor?
Yes, I went to a chiropractor.
Can I see, please, the bills from the chiropractor? When did you first start to have pain in your back?
As soon as he dropped me onto the couch, that he slammed me down onto the couch.
Was there a bar there? He says
yeah, there was like a wood frame bar that I landed on. And
They weren't really wrestling, though, Your Honor. He always says it like that they were wrestling and having a good time, but he just
wasn't
picked her up
wrestling.
and
He was being an idiot.
Yeah, he just grabbed her and threw her
No, excuse me,
down.
he wasn't being an idiot.
Yes,
He was an
he did
idiot
slam her
practicing
It was
his
just like a
craft.
roughhouse.
Yeah.
I don't go around beating women up.
You didn't do it, sir. You didn't hurt her on purpose.
No.
I want to explain something to you. I don't believe that you hurt her on purpose. I believe that you hurt her because you were an idiot. Whether you hurt her on purpose or you hurt her because you're an idiot, you still hurt her, and it's your fault. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You had medical bills in the amount of $3,567. Is that right?
Yes.
Listen, I hope a lot of other people go to, what is this, to eat?
Yeah.
So you're going to need it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,567.56. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may. Your Honor, this is case number 425 on the calendar in the matter of Hauerstein versus Hauenstein. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks have seats.
Ms. Hauenstein, the defendant is your stepdaughter.
Correct.
Is your husband here today?
Yes, he is.
How long have you been married?
April 2002.
According to your claim, your stepdaughter assaulted you in a bar.
Right.
She said that she was merely defending herself and you hit her first. Is that right?
No, she hit me first, and then I spilled beer on her first, and then she hit me.
Hit you first?
Yeah.
You were retaliating?
Yeah.
How long did you know her father before you married?
About 3 years.
Did you get along with the daughter?
She's the one that introduced us.
Really?
Yes.
Well, at what point did the friendship with her become a negative?
Probably right after we got married. She realized that money was going to stop, that Dad was going to stop bailing her out, and that was my fault. So shortly after we were married.
When was this alleged assault?
October 26th.
Tell me about it.
I had gone to a bar in another town with my friend Glee. We got there about 9 o'clock. Approximately 9:30, the defendant and a girlfriend walked in. All night long, they proceeded to flip me off and very immature and childish. About 11:30, I told my friend she had a cell phone. I said, go call my husband, tell him I'm ready to go home. She comes back from the restroom. She said, he'll be here in about a half an hour. About 20 minutes later, the DJ announces that they're starting the big contest. We had no idea what it was even involving. By this time, people are standing. I can't see anything. My friend Glee stands up. They start the contest. She comes down and she said, oh my gosh. And I said, what? She said, your stepdaughter was just on the dance floor, totally naked. And I said, excuse me? By this time, I feel a tap on my shoulder and my husband standing there. He asked me what was going on. I said, I don't know, I didn't see, but Glee just told me that Christina was naked on the dance floor. Well, the contest proceeds.
What kind of contest was it?
It was a
temporary tattoo contest.
Go ahead.
So she comes back, she won the contest for a t-shirt, looks over her shoulder, sees her dad standing there. She looks at her friend, she starts to giggle, and she says, oh, my dad's here. So she comes running over to talk to him, and he put his hands up like this. And she's, Dad, Dad, and he put his hands up like this, and he said, you know, Christina, you made me really proud tonight. And she snapped. She lost it. She was screaming at him, F you, I hate you, you're worthless. And then she went through everybody that was with us, and F you, and F you, and F you. And I stood up, I put my coat on, I said, you've drawn enough attention to yourself. I'm taking my husband, we're leaving. I went to take a drink of my beer. She smashed my hand. The beer went all over me, the floor, everyone. I went to throw my beer back at her. The glass fell off the front of my hand. She claims it hit her in the chin. Turned around to walk out, picked up half a pitcher of beer and slammed it, hit me right here in the head, and we left.
Do you have any medical records?
I do.
Let's see them, please.
Yeah, pictures, ma'am.
I do.
What kind of work do you do?
I work at Best Buy. I'm a laborer, and I work part-time as a bartender.
How old are you?
24.
Who do you live with?
Myself.
What time did you get to the bar on the evening of the 26th of October?
It was probably after 10.
Did you come there directly that evening from home?
I stopped up at the bar that I worked at and met Jack up there, and then we went out there.
Was there a contest that night at the bar?
Yes, there was.
Was it a contest where you had any part of your clothes off? The answer is either yes or no. It's very easy to find out. All I have to do is call the bar. The answer is yes or no.
Yes, I had my clothes off.
Would it be a fair statement that in order to get, appears to be, you know, a reasonably intelligent young woman on bar dance floor, have her take her clothes off, she would have had to be a little bit drunk?
Yes, I was.
That would be a fair statement?
Yes, I was.
Had you ever done that before?
No.
Would it be a fair statement that when you saw your father there, that you were a little embarrassed?
No, I didn't even know he was there.
After, I said, when you saw your father there.
No, I wasn't embarrassed.
Not at all?
No.
Then you would have had to have been really drunk.
No, because it has nothing to do with him. It's me, not him. So I'm not embarrassed by it. I did what I did. I can't take it back.
But you wouldn't have done it if you weren't drunk?
Probably not.
Your stepmother was injured as a result of you hitting her on the back of the head with a pitcher. And it's clear to me that you started it.
Somewhat, yes.
Because even according to you, you spilled beer on her by tapping her glass.
I didn't tap her glass. I picked someone's beer up off the bar and threw it on her. I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
There was
even worse.
But
even worse.
It was just the beer. I didn't throw the glass at her.
Even worse. I don't care what it is. You started it. And according to these photographs and the medical records, you finished it. And if you can't control your liquor, don't drink. Period. Because if you think that most normal people would say that a 24-year-old intelligent young lady who is self-supporting, works 2 jobs, lives by herself, whether that it's reasonable and normal behavior for her to get up in front of a whole bunch of strangers and take her clothes off is normal behavior. I'm telling you it is not. Not normal behavior, is it?
Not in my book.
Not in mine either.
Coming up on Judge Judy, Melanie Howenstein says stepdaughter Christina Howenstein assaulted her in the middle of a nightclub. Melanie says Christina was so drunk she got naked on stage.
What kind of problem do you have with her?
I've really never had a problem with her. We got along fine. Then we've been having a shaky relationship for 3 years since they've known each other.
Why?
I don't have any idea. I have no clue whatsoever. We got along for 10 months. I was happy that they got married. I don't care that they're married. That's their life. I have nothing to do with it. I don't want them divorced. My father said they were going to get divorced because of this whole situation, and I told him not to because I don't live there. It has nothing to do with me.
Good. Perfect.
No problems, but I don't know. This whole thing has been building up and building up. Like her birthday, she accused my dad of sleeping with my best friend, and I said something to her about it because she does it all the time. And I guess that irritated her because she dragged me outside with her and my dad and told me that my dad called me a worthless, good-for-nothing person. That's why they want to have another kid. So
that's why they what?
They want to have a kid together. So that's why they want to have another kid, is to make up for me being a bad seed. So.
Well, that's a ridiculous statement. Listen, try to get along with each other. Life is very short. If you're not best friends with your stepmother, be cordial with your stepmother. Where is your biological mother?
Not in the picture.
Not for a long time. So you have no contact with her?
I see her probably 3 times a year, if that.
Okay, you had more of a relationship with your father?
Yes.
Well, don't throw that away. In any event, you're responsible for these medical bills that she had to pay because you started this argument physically. You ended it physically. She was injured. Medical records are clear. You owe $941. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It was just a temporary tattoo contest. Just no big deal. Just me out having fun doing what I like to do.
There was problems long before I was involved, and she needs someone to blame it on, and I guess I'm the easy target.
My father and I do not talk anymore.
Even if I'm not involved, I think he needs to have a relationship with his daughter.
I want nothing to do with her. I'm not going to talk to him because it'll get back to her about me saying stuff, and it's all going to get twisted around like it has been in the past, so I'm not even going to bother.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lovell versus Carson. Step forward, please.
Attorney Warner Lovell is suing his former client, 27-year-old ticketing agent Diane Michelle Carson, for failure to pay for services in a custody battle. Michelle says she never hired him.
Mr. Lovell, you are an attorney.
That is correct.
And it is your claim that the defendant retained you in a custody proceeding to represent her and that she has an outstanding bill that you wanted to pay.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Carson says that she never retained you, that her mother, if anyone, retained you in this custody proceeding, and aside from that, you failed to show up in court on the day of the hearing. Is that your defense?
Yes.
I gather, Ms. Carson, that this whole case started with a custody proceeding involving your former husband some 6 or 7 years ago.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you have 2 small children.
Yes.
According to what I read in your answer, you lost custody to your husband.
Yes.
And your husband remarried. And recently he was dispatched to go into active duty, leaving the 2 children with their stepmother. And it was your desire to regain custody of the children, even temporarily, while their father was in the active military, rather than leaving them with their stepmother. That's what the lawsuit was about.
Yes.
And now, Mr. Lovell, I would like you to tell me when Miss Carson came to see you, how she was referred to you. I'd like to see the retainer agreement that she signed.
Your Honor, she came to me on or about June 18, 2002, the same date that she signed this agreement. Actually, she didn't come into my office. I gave the agreement to my secretary, one of my witnesses here, Diane Galloway, who is the mother of the defendant.
Okay, hold on a second. You took this retainer agreement, which I want to read for a second, and you gave it to your witness, who happens to be the defendant's mother.
Right, but Your Honor...
When it was returned to you, was it returned signed?
Yes.
So your conversations were primarily with her mother, who was your secretary?
That's correct.
Did you sign a retainer agreement with the plaintiff in June?
No, I did not.
Step up, please. Ms. Galloway, you worked for the plaintiff?
Yes.
For how long?
5 years.
Prior to the 18th of June, 2002, did you discuss with the plaintiff your daughter's predicament with regard to her 2 children?
Yes.
When had your daughter first contacted you and told you that the children were going to be with their stepmother?
She didn't contact me. I just knew.
How did you know?
Because I correspond with their father and the stepmother.
When you found out about it, what did you do?
I encouraged her to try to get temporary custody of them.
When did you speak to him?
June the 18th.
Are you telling me that prior to June the 18th you never spoke to him about the situation?
Not as far as in a professional manner, just as far as in corresponding, I would come in kind of depressed or upset or something and, share with him the situation.
Now, in June is when you had the first formal conversation with him, is that right?
That's correct.
And was it at that time that he gave you this retainer agreement?
Yes.
And what did you do with the retainer agreement?
I signed it, and then Michelle signed it.
Where was she when she signed it?
In my kitchen, in my house.
On what date?
September, I'm going to say probably around 21st, 22nd.
Your Honor, Shut. I don't want you to speak.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Attorney Warner Lovell says former client Michelle Carson owes for his services involving custody. Michelle says Mr. Lovell was hired by her mother, so she should pay.
Why is it that your daughter didn't sign the retainer agreement until September?
Because the proceedings, the way they were going, we thought we were going to have to, get attorney fees from the defendant. And I couldn't do that because I was not a party to the litigation. So I told her, in order to get attorney fees, you're the party, I'm not, you need to sign this.
Now, when was the hearing in this case?
First one I was involved in was scheduled for June 28, 2002, but we went in a day early, the 27th, at mutual agreement.
Mr. Lovell, between June 18th and September, how many court appearances did you make?
I made that one.
And then?
There was another lawyer involved for the defendant here, and the defendant and her mother wanted someone with more experience. I have 32 years experience.
Shh, Mr. Lovell. Who told you that?
Diane Galloway, my witness, told me they wanted someone more experienced. I then communicated with the defendant about this, and I sent her letters. She never responded to one of the letters and indicated
what was the date. What was the date of the letter, sir?
It was September 23rd. Was to her lawyer, my co-counsel, pointing out.
No, Mr. Lovell. Mr. Lovell, sir. Let me explain to you where I'm going, and you know
September 23 is the short
You know exactly where I'm going, Mr. Lovell.
Right.
Between June 18th and some date in September that your witness is not sure of, the defendant did not retain you. She retained you.
I disagree with that assessment.
Well, I'm telling you, you may disagree with it, but since I am the final arbiter of what's going on here, you have to accept that, sir. Now, you are suing for work that was done between June and September. I think that your secretary wanted some help with a custody case that she thought was a good idea initially in April. She told her daughter that she thought her daughter should pursue this custody case as opposed to the stepmother. Her daughter retained her own attorney. She signed a retainer agreement with you in June. She did not sign it until September. And all I'm asking you now, sir, is to fill in the blanks for me when you had correspondence with the defendant. Show me.
The first letter I had with her was the 23rd of September. Here's a copy of the letter. I had another one on October 8th. But prior to these letters, I had telephone communications with her, Judge. Your Honor, and she recognized me as her counsel.
Don't tell me she recognized you as her counsel, sir. I don't see that she recognized you as her counsel. You don't have a retainer agreement signed by her until September. And in September, you started sending her letters that you wanted your money. She says, you're not my lawyer. I mean, I'm not asking her any questions. I'm just looking at your paperwork, sir, and listening to your witness.
From August 6th to October 7th, Diane Galloway was out of my office with a wrist injury and surgery. So I was having to communicate some with the defendant directly. She recognized me as her lawyer. And
did you recognize him as your lawyer?
I never spoke with him. It was always through my mom. My mom would tell me something. I never spoke with this gentleman on the telephone except for one time, and it was a no charge on the billing statement. All of this other billing is conversation with Diane Galloway, conversation with Diane Galloway.
See it, please?
All of the bills.
Can I see it, please? How much did you pay your attorney?
My attorney? $2,000.
What happened with the case?
I lost.
Who paid you your retainer on June 18th?
Diane Galloway paid a $500 retainer on that time. I have a copy of the check she's given.
I believe you.
Okay.
Am I correct that in your statement to this defendant, dated 7/1/02 for the month of June, that when you refer to conference with client, you are referring to Miss Galloway?
Some of those were with Miss Galloway. I had a conversation or two with each one.
Listen to me, sir. You don't say clients. You say client. Did you have a conference with Miss Carson on 6/18? The answer is either yes or no.
No.
So if you did not have a conference, Mr. Lovell, with Miss Carson on June 18th, the conference with client that you are referring to in your billing statement has to be Miss Galloway. Is that correct?
Yes, but may I explain?
No. On June 19th, did you have a conference with Miss Carson?
Not in person.
Are you telling me, sir, that you had a conference on the telephone with Miss Carson and you had a conference with Miss Galloway as well?
No. The defendant worked for American Airlines and I couldn't reach her by phone during the day. When I would call, I usually would not get a response. If she had to come into my office, she would lose pay. Therefore, I would communicate to her through Diane Galloway.
Mr. Lovell, I'm not going to prolong this torture anymore, sir. You do not have a case against Miss Carson and you know it. Case dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. This is case number 356 on the calendar in the matter of Koch versus Ringenberg, Buban, Fagan. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Which one of you gentlemen is Brad? All right. So what I want you to do is stand right over there. That's it. Now, Miss Koch, according to what I read, you had a friend, Kathy. Is Kathy here? You are his mother.
Correct.
Brad's mother. Kathy was visiting you at your house, and she at some point wanted to go home and check on her kids. So you said she could borrow your car to do that, as long as she brought it right back. Correct?
Correct.
Kathy goes home, and she decides to let her son drive the car back to your house. So far, that's what you did. You let your son drive the car back to her house.
To pick up my car.
I don't care what it was.
Not to check on my kids. To get my car so I could have it back at her house.
Whatever. You let your son drive the car back to her house. Is that right?
To follow me, to have my car.
Whatever. He could have followed your car. He could have been driving your car.
He did.
So who was driving her car?
He did. I was in my car. He drove her car, followed me back to her
Did you
house.
understand what I said? Try to pay attention. I said you could have let him be the driver of your car and you drove her car back. But you didn't do that. You let him drive her car. Is that right?
Correct.
Now, at some point, he decides to stop off and pick up a couple of friends. Is that right, Brad?
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
And there goes the trouble. Because by the time your car was returned to you, much later on, It was totally undrivable. Had blown a transmission, and some other stuff happened to the car. There's where we are. And I want you gentlemen now to be very, very brief, because I've read all of your answers. Not to worry, Ms. Koch, we're going to get to you. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe it's necessary, and maybe it won't be necessary. Okay. Because, you know, my credo is keep it simple, stupid. That's what my father always said to me, so I'm going to try to keep this as simple for myself as possible. In 30 seconds or less, you tell me how her car ended up in the junk pile.
I went and picked him up, and we went back to her house.
Went back to whose house?
Connie's house.
All right, so you went back to her house, but you had stopped off to pick up these two gentlemen.
Yes, Your Honor.
Where was your mother?
She was at home.
Your mother was home. That's interesting. I thought she said she was in her car. All right, but we'll let that pass for a moment. So you stop off to pick up the two guys. And what happens after you pick up the two guys?
We went to Connie's house, and I took the keys inside.
Look at me.
I took the keys inside, and I put it on the table right in front of her.
And then what were you going to do?
And I went back outside, and we were stuck there.
What do you mean we were stuck there? What did that mean, you were stuck there?
We didn't have a ride nowhere.
Well, didn't you realize that once you drove the car back to Connie's house, you weren't going to have a ride anywhere unless, of course, your mother, who says she was following you.
I thought my mother was there, but she went home.
But she went home. She was just driving around. Maybe she had to mail a letter or something. Yeah. Go ahead. So now you're standing outside and you have no ride home. What's next? Look at me.
Matt went inside.
Matt, raise your hand. Matt went inside.
And he said he was going to ask for the keys.
Who did you ask for the keys?
Connie, but she was sleeping, so I just...
Oh, now, so you asked her, but she was sleeping. Yeah. Now, I want you to explain to me how you... Please don't laugh at him. Bird's going to laugh at him. So you were going to ask Connie for the keys, and you asked her for the keys, but she was sleeping.
Yes.
So what did you do? Did you do telepathy?
I just grabbed them and went outside.
So you had no permission to have the car. Is that right? Now, when you got outside, what did you say to your two friends?
Let's go to Polk City and...
Excuse me?
I asked Brad to go drop me and Luke off in Polk City and go back out there, but...
But what?
We ended up staying at my house for a while. And
who?
Us three.
How long?
An hour, maybe.
And then what happened?
Me and Luke drove around for a little bit, got some gas, and the car stalled.
Okay, where'd you leave him?
My house with a few other friends.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, let's understand this. You had no permission to have the car, is that right? Is that right?
Yes.
And you had no permission to be in the car, is that right? After you had dropped it off?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what about you?
No.
No what?
No, I didn't have permission to be in the car.
Who was driving?
Matt.
Did you ever drive the car?
No, Your Honor.
Now, did Matt tell you that he didn't have permission to have the car?
He told me we did have permission.
He did?
Yes.
What did he say to you?
Well, me and Brad were sitting outside of Connie's house, and he went inside and got the keys and comes out and says that, you know, let's go. And he didn't say that he had permission, but, you know, he said, let's go. And
oh, so he didn't say he had permission. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You knew. Now, tell me about your car. What happened to it? They just say it stopped.
It was 70 miles away when the transmission blew from my home.
70 miles?
And then I came back home and filed a police report. And they...
Just tell me what the damage was to the car. That's my question.
Well, my damage is at $3,490. There's a towing charge, there's attorney fees, and unused insurance, but...
I just want to see what the damage was to the car.
The matter is all I need.
How old are you?
16.
You're 16. Oh, how old are you?
17.
7, and you?
16.
16. Oh, this makes my life so much easier.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Connie Koch says teenagers Brad Buban, Matt Regensburg, and Luke Fagan drove her car without permission. Connie says the boys damaged the transmission, then abandoned it 70 miles away.
You know how I like to keep things simple? I want you to move over there. I'd like you to step up here. Your name is Kathy what?
Boobin.
Step up here. Let her stand next to her prize. Son says that you didn't follow him to her house so that you could give him a ride back. And I believe him, because that's what they say. Why didn't you do that?
I just picked up my car so I could leave Connie's when I felt when I was wanting to go home.
Well, just 1 second, madam. She didn't give your son permission to drive her car.
She gave both of us.
No, she did not. No, she did not.
Back.
Excuse me?
Someone's got to drive my car, which is me.
No, not you, which is him. Don't you get it? That's what I said to you before. If somebody's going to drive a car that doesn't belong to them, it's going to be you, not him. So he drives your car, and you drive her car.
That's probably how it should have been done.
Right. Because but for that, this whole thing wouldn't have happened. Right? Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, everybody knows 16-year-old boys and cars don't mix. They're fools. And when they have friends, they're bigger fools. Now, you should have anticipated that. You didn't. Therefore, I am not holding these two boys' parents responsible. I'm holding you responsible for the whole thing. Because I'm holding him responsible for the whole thing. You want to go after them? Sue him. If he came before me, you'd be totally unsuccessful. But for your actions, you're the adult. He never would have had his hands on the keys to her car. You got it? Now, if the boys had gone into her house and you had nothing to do with that, and each one of the boys told me the same story, he got the keys, he drove the car with them, he was also a passenger who knew what was going on, and you had nothing to do with it, all three of you would be equally responsible. But in this case, you were the one who controlled the keys to that car. If you had done the right thing and said, follow me back, I'm taking Connie's car, you drive my car, when we get to Connie's house, going inside, I'll be right out. You put Connie's keys someplace where Connie can get her keys if she's sleeping, you come outside, you say, now drive me home.
That's what happened.
No, it's not what happened. You were not driving Connie's car.
He put him on the table.
You listen to me. You were not driving Connie's car back to her house. He was. He should have been driving your car, not Connie's car. You want to give a 16-year-old permission to drive a car and to pick up friends? Let it be your car, not your friend's car. She was doing you a service. Judgment for the plaintiff against this defendant only in the amount of $3,000. And if you think you can prove a case against the parents of these two boys, you go ahead and try. You will be unsuccessful here because you had the ability, you're the adult, you had the ability to ensure that her car got home safely, and you chose not to do that. These parents didn't. They had no idea what was going on. Only you did.
Her keys were left on her
Only
counter.
you did. You had the ability to see to it that her car was returned to her house
It was
safely.
returned in her driveway.
No, it wasn't.
And her keys were put on that table.
No, listen
Somebody
to me.
came in that house and took those
you
keys
can tell
off
me,
that table.
Put
Your
that
Honor.
down. You can tell me anything that you like, and I'm telling you, you had the responsibility to see
And
to
I
it
did
that
it.
yours.
And it came back. Those keys came back
Madam,
on
you
that
are
counter.
a liar. Your
I'm not
son
lying.
says
There's
you
nothing to lie
are a
about.
liar. I believe you're a liar. Your son just told me you're a liar. He
hate
just
liars.
told me that you never followed him back to her house to drive him home because they were there stranded. And you said, I followed him back there, which is a lot of baloney. So you're a liar, you're responsible. Judgment for the plaintiff against this defendant only, $3,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Not a liar.
All I know is my police report says that Kathy admitted to knowing that they were taking the vehicle.
It put a strain on Connie because she was without a car.
I'm still without a vehicle.
I carted her around. I tried to be very helpful.
I've gotten nowhere. They were said, please don't press charges. That we'll get it fixed. We'll get it fixed.
I was a good neighbor. She's been a good neighbor. It's what neighbors are supposed to do.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Frank versus Willoughby. Step forward, please.
Homemaker Diane Frank is suing her sister, real estate agent Bonnie Willoughby, for car payments, attorney fees, and for the cost to have a car shipped from Hawaii to California.
Miss Frank, the defendant is your sister, is that right?
Yes.
And you co-signed a loan for a car for her.
Yes.
And the agreement was that she was to make the payments on the car.
Yes.
Is that right so far?
Yes.
And then there came a time when your sister left wherever you were. Where had you been living?
Riverside.
In California.
Yes.
And she went to Hawaii.
Yes.
You didn't know where she went, but she went to Hawaii with the car.
Yes.
And it is your claim that she was not making payments on this car.
Right.
And you want her to pay for payments that you had to catch up on, as well as the cost of bringing the car back from Hawaii to California, which was in excess of $5,000, which is the maximum here. Your sister says that you had no reason to come and take the car back because she was, in fact, making payments. Correct?
Yes.
That's what you say. So let me tell you what the rules are. If you were making all the payments, then I'm going to dismiss your sister's case. Because if you were making all the payments, that was your agreement. And she had no right to go and pick up the car. And if she went and picked up the car, then all the expense she will bear herself. So then the burden falls upon you to show me proof that you made all the car payments from 11/11/99 until what date did you pick up the car?
I picked up the car on February 23rd, I believe.
Of this year?
Yes.
Miss Willoughby, let me see it. Let me see the proof that you made all the payments. Show me. Go ahead.
Your Honor.
That's me.
My records are not available to me. I am going through a separation, and I don't have access to the records because my husband has all of them in a storage where I do not have access to.
Miss Willoughby, banks keep records. So if you wrote a check each month for this car, all you have to do is call the bank and say, I don't have my records. I need copies of the last 12 months. So the truth of the matter is that you weren't making all these payments. Isn't that right? Miss Willoughby, did you make all the payments?
I made all of the payments up until I started to fall slightly behind.
So then the answer is you didn't make all the payments. You have letters to show me from the bank indicating that the payments were delinquent?
Yes.
Can I see them, please?
These are the statements that start coming I don't have them all, but here's
Let me take a look
plenty
at some
of them that shows that they were starting to come late. I started receiving phone calls.
Just a second. Just a second. Well, here's one, 12/11/01. Were you in Hawaii at that time?
No, I was not.
Well, at that time, the past due amount was $1,446.86. When did you go to Hawaii?
Approximately 2001 would have been May.
Your Honor, I was not able to find the car for 8 months. I begged on email, please tell me where the car is. I couldn't get insurance on the car because I didn't have possession of the car. She didn't have insurance on it, so they tacked on insurance on those payments too. So I got that extra lovely bill.
When did you finally pick up the car, 2/23/02?
Yes.
And you've been making the payments on the car ever since?
Yes.
How much did you ultimately pay for the car, on the car, when you picked it up in February? How much did you have to pay to catch up with what was
November,
owed?
I made a payment of $1,548.41. That way they said that they were dropping all the suits against me.
Okay, but you didn't have the car at that time?
No.
How much did it cost you to bring the car back?
It cost me $871 to ship it, and another $250 was mandatory. They made me get marine insurance. The WOFS would not release it without getting the marine insurance.
That wasn't required when I shipped it to Hawaii.
I don't
WFS
care.
had no
You
requirement.
had money to ship it to Hawaii. Did you make any other payments on the car when it wasn't in your possession?
Yes, I did.
How much?
I made the December, the January, and the February.
Let me see.
Okay, December. Oops.
Ms.
These
Willoughby,
ones. And I also
why do
made
you
some.
think this isn't amusing? Do you think this
I
is
had
amusing?
No, I don't think it's amusing. I think it's just sad when a sister can't solve something between her sister in private. We both have the same. How much have the same history of problems.
How much did you pay her? $50 a month towards this back money? How much did you give her since she's been laying out all this money? $25 a month?
Since she has had possession of the car?
No, before. In order to keep her credit reasonable when you weren't making the payments.
She damaged my credit. Oh, sorry.
How much did you give her? And call her up and say, listen, I can't give it to you all at one time, but I'm going to send you $100 a month, $50 a month. I will catch up as soon as I can.
I've had the expense of $3,197 of rental car bills because she's had my car this entire while.
Before, you didn't hear my question. Miss Willoughby, before she took back the car and you weren't making payments, did you call her and say to her, I'm sorry you had to make these payments for me, but I'm going to send you $100 a month, $200 a month, $50 a month, just to show you that I know it's my responsibility?
I know that it's my responsibility.
No, I asked you whether you called her and said that to her.
My mother did.
Judgment for the plaintiff and the amount requested. Your costs are far more than that, but your sister's not going to get it. Do you understand? She doesn't get it. She doesn't get it that it's her responsibility, not her mother's responsibility, nobody else's responsibility. She took off with the car. She didn't pay for the car. She's in another jurisdiction. She says, I have other bills to pay. But the onus of it fell on you because you did the wrong thing. You co-signed or you signed as a primary on a car for somebody else. You never do that.
I didn't sign as a primary. She worked for the place, and they switched my name.
You signed. Listen, you went there. You recognized the fact that they switched you as a co-signer.
No, I didn't know it at the time.
Well, then you
it's
have
my
to
mistake.
That's your mistake. Yes. Then you have to read it more carefully. But she's got the car, and you got the lousy credit. I mean, it's ridiculous. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Case number 396 on the calendar in the matter of Salinas Darabiji versus O'Shea. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats.
All right, who's going to speak?
I will.
Tell me your name.
Jennifer, Your Honor.
This is one of your dogs, and
yes.
according to your complaint, you had two. They were both the same breed.
Right.
And unfortunately, one of your dogs was killed by the defendant's dog.
Right.
You want him to be responsible for you securing another dog, which in your case involved flying out to a breeder, because that's where you got that dog from, and purchasing another dog.
Right.
The defendant says that your dog was off the leash at the time that his dog attacked yours, which I don't think he denies. You don't deny that your dog attacked a dog. And he is counterclaiming because he said that while at the vet, you attacked him and assaulted him, and he is counterclaiming. Tell me about your dog.
Well, she's beautiful.
No,
she,
no,
5
beautiful,
pounds.
I know. Beautiful,
yeah,
I know.
absolutely.
When did you get her? Where did you get her from?
Oh, I got her from Tampa, Florida.
Where do you live?
Sherman Oaks. And I researched over 50 breeders, both locally, you know, obviously for me, you know, very far. It didn't matter. You know, I knew that I wanted one.
When did you get the dog?
In the year 2000.
And it was also a Pomeranian?
Yes.
Now, did you travel on both occasions to get the dogs to Tampa?
Yes, to Tampa.
The breeder will not send the dog to you?
Not that small. She does have bigger dogs, but because they are bred down to be so little, I mean, when you pick them up, they're about 8 ounces. So they're very small, and to go underneath cargo is unacceptable for anyone.
So she insists that you come and pick them up?
Absolutely.
All right, tell me about the unfortunate incident involving Mr. O'Shea's dog. Your neighbors, I assume?
Yes. And I was not there, thank God.
Okay, you were, who was?
Me, Your Honor.
Your
My
last
name is Ray Darabiji.
Do you live together?
Yes.
Yes.
Tell me what happened, sir.
Well, it was July 18th. My brother and I took out the girls, you know, just like every other night.
The girls, you mean the two little girls?
Yeah. And we placed them on the grass, and no longer than we put them on the grass, his 2 dogs came out of nowhere, and I immediately yelled at Rod to grab Princess, and she just kind of...
She knew that the dogs were going to attack her.
She knew something was going to happen, so she really, you know, crept down. Rod scooped her up. That's my brother. And I tried to go after Prissy. That's the one that was deceased. And she was running away from him. And, you know, she had 2 pit bulls. You know, one was trying to, you know, get me, and the other one was going after Prissy. And...
Okay, so Mr. O'Shea's dogs came out of his house?
We don't know where.
Yeah,
where did they come out of, sir?
They came out of my apartment door.
Okay.
They weren't pit bulls, by the way.
What are they?
They're mixes.
They're much larger. Were you
Oh, yeah,
home?
they're definitely larger.
Were you home?
Yes, I was.
How did your dogs get out, Mr. O'Shea?
Well, I was actually leaving the apartment, and I have a screen door, like a security screen door, which they can see through. And their dogs were at the end of my driveway. And our apartments are very close together. And my dogs apparently saw them, and I didn't realize they were out there. But as I went to go leave my apartment, my dogs slipped past me and ran down the driveway to go, as far as I know, to go play with the dogs. They didn't go out to attack the dogs. They're not attack dogs or wild dogs.
Well, they killed
one of
your dogs killed one of the dogs. So
right.
You are responsible.
Just by nature of the size differential.
What makes you think that you are not responsible?
For one thing, it's a legality that you have to have your dogs on leash.
That doesn't...
Doesn't change.
Listen to me, Mr. O'Shea. The proximate cause of the death of her dog was not that it was off the leash.
Well, when animal control came over, animal control came to my apartment.
I'm speaking, my mouth is moving. The cause of her dog dying is because her dog was attacked by your dog that was off the leash.
Correct. So
her dog did not attack your dog. Your dog attacked her dog.
Well, actually, her dog ran up to my dog, so obviously there's a size differential there. So Well, I'm not saying that her dog attacked my dog.
Explain to me how that happened, Mr. O'Shea.
Well, my dogs ran up to their dogs ran up to mine, and a fight ensued between my bigger dog and one of their little dogs.
I don't believe you, Mr. O'Shea. That's a lie. That's a lie.
What part of
that's a lie? What part is a lie? Part that is a lie is that their dogs ran up to your dogs. Your dogs ran to theirs, ran out behind you because they saw two other dogs there. Your dog ran out and ran up to plaintiff's dog. They didn't come together.
Well, my dogs ran out, but their dogs definitely came towards my dogs. Dogs aren't usually stationary objects.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. My dog ran for her life.
Listen to me, madam. You weren't
Sure.
there, so don't interfere.
Okay.
I don't believe him.
Okay. Can I say
I don't believe him.
Can
you
I say
what?
something? My name is Veronica Rojarte. I'm the witness. I'm his roommate.
Come on.
Basically, every time that I'm out there with Junior or Oakley, there's been several occasions where her dogs do run up to my dogs, and they are on
Were you
me.
there on the 18th of July?
No, I wasn't, but
Good,
the fact,
sit down.
Does that change the fact that her dogs were off leash and that they're always off leash?
And that they
Let me
run
explain
up
something to you. The
That's proof.
problem, Mr. O'Shea, is that the dog was not killed because it was off the leash. The dog was killed because your dog was off the leash.
Right.
The reason that her dog died is because your dog was not in control. Not in control by its owner. That's you. You are totally, completely, 100% responsible the same way, Mr. O'Shea, as if your dog ran up to a child that was not being supervised by a parent and bit it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Jennifer Salinas and her boyfriend, Ray Darabigi, are suing neighbor Sean O'Shea for the cost of a Pomeranian puppy and punitive damages. The couple says Sean's dogs killed their pet.
Your dog killed her dog because your dog wasn't in your custody and control.
But
That
her dog was on my driveway, on my property.
That's, just a second, you didn't even see her dog when you, because that's what you just said to me. You said, I didn't even see her dog until I got outside.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Oh, yes, you did.
Well,
that's
okay,
what
so
you
I'm
said.
inside my apartment.
No, that's what you
Okay.
said. You said, I didn't even see her
But the
dog.
second I stepped out of my apartment, I'm obviously seeing the dogs and my dogs. So I don't think I'm lying here. I think you're
Mr. O'Shea, yes, you were, because you said, I didn't even see her dog, and all I saw was my dog scooting out.
How long does it take somebody to walk outside their apartment door?
Mr. O'Shea, you are 100% responsible. It's your dog. It's a big dog, capable of causing injury. That dog has to be within your control all the time. If it's not, you are responsible. That's my law. Now let's get to your counterclaim, and then I'll get to the amount of money that it's going to cost to
Can I say
replace
one
that
quick
dog.
thing? One quick
No,
thing?
let's get to your counterclaim.
Okay.
I have limited patience with people that won't accept responsibilly, Mr. O'Shea.
Well, animal control said that
I don't
had
care what
limited
animal control
responsibility,
said.
so-
You think animal control has more degrees than I do? Now let's move on to
Probably
your
know
counterclaim.
exactly what they're
Let's
doing.
move on to your counterclaim, sir. If the animal
Well-
control had more degrees than I do, they'd be a judge and I'd be animal control. Now let's move on. Let's get
Okay.
to your counterclaim.
So-
I'm ready.
Anyways, I arrive at the vet's office. My roommate James got out of the car with me. When I walked up, she was hysterical and crying and standing with a friend of hers a little ways down. And I talked with the plaintiff's brother. They told me that what the bill was, and I said, you know, I'd like to pay for that. And I wrote them a check right then.
Good.
And when Jennifer came close to us, she saw my roommate and for whatever reason assumed that he was the owner of the dogs. And she was pretty hysterical. At this point, she'd already fallen on the sidewalk several times and was crying hysterically and screaming. And she attacked my friend, James.
How did she attack James?
Well, she ran up to him, screaming and saying various things about her dog dying. And with closed fists, started hitting him in the head, in the face and neck. And James, to his credit, put his hands up and just stood there and didn't do anything. And this went on for about 25 seconds until somebody pulled her off of him. At which point, somebody, I guess, explained to her that they weren't James's dogs, but they were my dogs. At which point she came after me. And she started hitting me about the face and neck with closed fists. And I also raised my hands to protect myself because she swings pretty good.
Okay, Ms. Salinas, let me hear about it.
I'm not going to deny what I had done, but I was nuts.
Okay, that's not, Miss Salinas, that's no excuse.
No, these dogs.
That's absolutely no excuse.
No, there is not. You're absolutely right. And the next day, I called him. My girlfriend that I was down the street with, I was holding her so tight, I left my nail marks in her back.
Miss Salinas.
No, I understand. I called him the next day, and I said, Sean, excuse me, he did not call me. My dog is dead. I saw what I had done. I took responsibility for, I realized then what I had done. I took responsibility for what I did. I called Sean and I said, Sean, please excuse my behavior from last night. I would never react that way. These are my little girls. These are my life. Please understand that. And he said, Jennifer, I understand. I would never, you know, expect anything less than that. And he, you know.
Miss Salinas.
To be attacked?
Yeah, that's exactly what you said. You understood, Sean.
I understand somebody being upset about losing their dog.
No, I agree that it's not. It's unacceptable behavior. I do agree with you 100%.
You have photographs of your injuries, sir?
No, I don't actually.
No, of course, because he had no injuries.
How much did you pay for the dog, Miss Salinas?
$1,200.
You have the bill? You purchased the dog in August of 2002?
That's correct. This is for our new dog that we just, I borrowed the money from my parents to...
Oh, you purchased a new dog. This is for a new dog that you purchased.
That's for the new dog.
How much was the dog that was killed?
$1,200.
$1,200.
Yes, ma'am. It's the same amount.
Do you have a receipt
same
for that?
breeder.
I believe that that's probably true. Beautiful animal.
Thank you.
And the plane ticket was how much?
$800.
You have a receipt for that?
Yes.
Can I see it, please?
Since my parents paid for my ticket, I don't have my receipt, but his, which we obviously flew the same flight, so we had a problem getting her copy.
There you go.
These are all the other...
These are all the other receipts.
For what?
For
the rent-a-car.
No, not to mention the, after Priscilla died, we had her cremated.
Delta Airlines. I have $408.
Right, and for his ticket. And then I don't have a copy of my mother's credit card.
Well, what's $800?
For both of our tickets.
You don't both have to go and get the dog.
Well, it's our dog. We wanted to pick her out together.
Listen, Miss Salinas, he's not paying for you going as a couple.
Fine.
That's $1,600. That's for the dog and your plane ticket. Now, Mr. O'Shea, did you seek medical attention for any of your injuries? Did you have any marks as a result of the injury?
I did have bumps on my head, yeah.
I think that you should be compensated for that. I think that Miss Salinas can't say, I was so upset. She's an adult. She's an adult gal. She can't say, I was so upset. I was overcome by the moment, and therefore I am entitled to assault you. She's not entitled to assault you.
Absolutely not. I agree.
Well, Mr. O'Shea, how much do you think that assault was worth?
To me, $2,000 seemed fair.
Really? Were you planning on suing her?
No, I wasn't.
Well, then why, from not planning to sue her, to $2,000?
Because when things turned ugly, because I didn't have her arrested because I didn't want to handle it that way. And when I found out that I was being sued, I felt I should protect myself to the best of my ability. And I already felt that I'd pretty much let her, I mean, the only person that committed a crime here was her.
That's true. So I think that the airfare that she spent getting her dog is going to be her responsibility. So I'm deducting $400. That's your responsibility, which ordinarily you would have gotten. But the cost of the dog you're going to get. Judgment for the plaintiff, because I'm deducting that amount, so judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,200, which is the cost of a new pet. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He is a liar, because when I did call him the next day, I did apologize, and he said, Jen, don't worry about it. I understand.
He's my next-door neighbor, and I really didn't want to cause a really ugly situation.
I just think it's ironic that if he felt he was assaulted, that he filed his countersuit or counterclaim
3 days ago.
We're still neighbors, but I don't think we're going to be too neighborly.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Mercado versus Atkinson. Step forward, please.
9/11 dispatcher Dawn Mercado is suing her former live-in boyfriend, mechanic Jeremy Atkinson, for unpaid rent, utility bills, and unpaid loans. Jeremy says she kicked him out because he didn't get along with her 5-year-old son.
Ms. Mercado, you and the defendant were boyfriend and girlfriend, and you lived together for a brief period of time in an apartment that you leased together. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Something happened. Mr. Atkinson decided to leave, according to you. He left, and you want him to be responsible for the remainder of the lease, at least his portion of the remainder of the lease. In addition, you claim that he used your credit card, made certain charges that you want to be reimbursed for.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Atkinson says that you told him to leave the apartment. You actually kicked him out of the apartment, so why should he be responsible for the rent? And that any charges that he made on your credit card, he paid you for in cash. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
Okay. When did you move in together?
He moved into my studio apartment with me in the beginning of May, and we moved into our apartment, which we had a signed lease, on June 15th.
So what happened?
We got along very well until my son was diagnosed with having mixed ADHD. Him and my son had some problems.
How old is your son?
5 years old.
What kind of problems was your son having with Mr. Atkinson, or
They-
vice versa?
They argued constantly.
He argued with a 5-year-old?
Yes, ma'am.
What were you arguing with a 5-year-old about?
It's just whenever you'd ask him to do something, he would say he'd do it and then wouldn't go do it. Like clean his room, he wouldn't do that. If you told him to go take a shower, he wouldn't do it. And I just didn't have the patience.
We found that he had a hard time focusing, and that's why he was diagnosed. He went through several psychologists, psychiatrists, family doctors. He's now on medication, and he sees a psychiatrist anywhere from 3 to 4 times a month. He is having a lot of improvement, and he had made the comment to my mom and dad that he thought Mr. Atkinson was a monster and that he was afraid to leave with him. I explained to Mr. Atkinson that I was not going to choose between him and my son, that my son was my priority, and that we had several disagreements about that. And it just led to problems between that and financial problems. And I never kicked Mr. Atkinson out. I told him I could no longer support him and that he was welcome to leave.
You said a couple of things that were pretty smart. You said, A, I wasn't going to choose between him and my 5-year-old. That's a no contest. You have to go. I am not finding that by your saying to him, there's the door, he did not take that as, I better get out of here or there's going to be difficulty. He says you threw him out. I think that that's what happened. Whatever, he's not going to pay the rent. Now let's hear about the credit card.
On several occasions, Mr. Atkinson asked to borrow money with the intention that he would pay me back.
Yes, it's true, Your Honor, but the majority of the time, money was reimbursed on my payday in the form of cash, or if I did any side work, she got the money from it.
Is that true?
He would give me cash for some of it, ma'am, but these are the things that he has not reimbursed me for.
Did you keep a running log of how much he spent and how much he reimbursed you when he paid you in cash?
No, ma'am.
Then I'm not getting involved. There is absolutely no way of you determining, at least for me, how much he owes you in the months that he lived there when you had this rather fluid financial arrangement. It's over. You made a mistake. Put a period. Move on. Your parents live close by?
About 30 minutes away, ma'am.
Do they help you?
As when they can.
Good. You have another few months to pay this rent. You going to stay in the apartment or not?
Yes, ma'am. I cannot get out of the lease.
Good. That's what I think you should do. Goodbye.
Parties are excused.